So I've had a few requests following on from my previous video where we looked at the new AMD frame gen option asking to show my graphics settings. So I have done a settings guide previously, but since Sim Update 2 I have tweaked quite a few things, and I have to say I'm really happy with how the sim's running at the moment, so we'll check those out shortly. As you can see, we're at the Pyreeg Edinburgh V2 scenery, which is a pretty demanding add-on, so perfect for testing our performance. And we'll have a good look around, and then head out to the aircraft on stand and check out those settings. We'll also change the time and weather to see what effect that has, and then I'll also show you the sort of FPS I'm getting as well. So let's head inside and have a little look around the check-in area. It's such a great scenery, there is so many details to check out. So I'm currently running an RTX 4070 Super, which is a bit stingy on VRAM, to be honest. It's a 12GB card, and obviously the way the sim is currently optimised means I'm always walking a bit of a VRAM tightrope. So for my personal setup I do need to dial things back a little bit, and we'll take a look at that shortly. In the meantime, let's head out to departures. Okay, so here we are in the departure lounge then. We'll just take a little bit more of a look around inside before heading out to the plane. We've got a Hudson Street grill there, looks pretty cool. That's us on stand 10 there, and we've got animated passengers walking around, still getting a nice solid performance as I pan around. What we've got over here, oh look, we've got spoons. Can't beat that for value for money. All day breakfast and a pint, that's the only way to start the holiday, isn't it? Unless you're the pilot, obviously. Okay, right, so let's head out to our aircraft then. And we're in the Phoenix A320 today, running a BA shuttle service back down to London Heathrow. And we also have FSLTL traffic injection running, so we're really going to push the system. Okay, so let's check out those updated graphic settings then. From the top then, we're running full screen resolution at 1440p. We've got TAA set for our anti-aliasing. Then we've got the all-important new AMD FSR3 setting for our frame gen. And this has pretty much doubled my previous frames I was getting. So it's working really well for me. It might not be for everyone, but certainly I've had no problems with it so far, no crashes or anything like that. Okay, so VSync is switched off in the sim, but I do have it turned on in the Nvidia control panel, which I will quickly show you now. And if we just scroll down, where are we? All the way to the bottom. There we go. So VSync is on, and I also cap the max frame rate to 58. Where are we? There. So that's capped at 58. And those are the only two settings that I change in the Nvidia control panel. So let's go back to the sim. Nvidia low latency is switched on, and on our dynamic settings, let's switch those on so that it targets 60 FPS as well. And then down to our advanced settings, and we've got terrain level of detail set 150, off-screen terrain precaching is high, and displacement mapping is off, and then everything else is pretty much a mixture of high and medium. We've got the object level of detail set at 130, and then high for both clouds and texture resolution, and then our anisotropic filtering is 2 times. Right, what else we got? Ray trace shadows. I kind of flip between having this on and off. It does make quite a big difference on performance, so let's leave it off for today. And then we've got our shadow maps set at 1024. And then just scrolling down, everything else is pretty much a mixture of medium and high. Have motion blur switched off, that's just personal preference. And that is pretty much it. So as you can see, fairly well dialed back. Let's head back into the aircraft and we can check what sort of performance we're getting inside the flight deck. So if I start panning from left to right slowly, you can see it's nice and smooth, no stutters looking up. And if I start rotating the mouse a little bit more quickly, you can see we're still getting nice smooth frames, no stutters, and zooming in and out is a good one as well. Really nice and slick. And this is typically the way I like to test my performance. Get a study level aircraft, a high fidelity scenery, chuck in some traffic as well, and just sort of pan round both inside and outside the aircraft. Oh look, we've got another Speedbird arriving. Let's take a look at changing some weather and time then, just to see what sort of effect that has on our performance. Let's go down to our weather, and what should we go for? Let's go rain. That'll add plenty of cloud cover, which is also pretty demanding. There we go, and we'll just close that. Watch our friend taxi in. Oh, look at that, we've got a rainbow. We couldn't have planned that if we tried. Awesome. Crikey, I think this pilot has been at Wetherspoons. Easy. And even though we have got everything set to medium and high, it's still a really good looking simulator. And unless you've got a really high-end PC build, you don't have to push everything to ultra all the time, in my opinion. Okay, so let's have a look at some night lighting then. If we wind the time on a little bit, just see what sort of impact that has on our performance as well. So we'll just wind it on a little bit more. There we go. That looks pretty nice. We'll just continue panning around. Just before I show you the FPS counter, I know somebody in the chat will shout at me if I don't show you, but the best way of testing in my mind is just using your eyes, because I feel like if I've always got the FPS counter on screen, I kind of get hung up on it and worrying that I've got the wrong setting for this or the wrong setting for that. So yeah, just pan around like this. If it looks nice and smooth, that's probably good enough. And it is a fantastic looking scenery, isn't it? The guys at Pyrig really know what they're doing, don't they? I'm really looking forward to their new Birmingham airport, which I believe is imminent for release. And let's just check one more thing for Sim Update 2. I've heard the new runway lighting is much improved now, so let's just get rid of our weather. We'll go clear skies, and we'll wind the time on a bit more, a little bit darker we want it, so we can check those out. There we go, that looks good. Yeah, that is pretty nice. They seem to be a little bit less blurry, would you say? Yeah, I'd say that's an improvement, definitely. Right, so let's get this FPS counter on screen for you guys that are interested. So I have developer mode running. If we go up to the top bar and click on debug and display FPS, you can see there we are main thread limited, and as I said earlier, my VRAM is pretty much maxed out there. But we are getting a nice, stable, steady performance. Solid FPS. So yeah, again, I'm pretty happy with that. As I said in the intro, this is about as good as I've had 2024 running since launch, really. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for today. That concludes my updated settings guide for Sim Update 2 in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe you've got a similar PC build to myself. If you did find that useful, give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.